Alright, everybody, welcome back to Major Gaming, and today we're going over my predictions for year 10 of Dead by Daylight and what chapters are going to be coming. This is my second time recording this video because my microphone decided to be an asshole and not record my voice. So, I'm heated, and we're going to go through this again in a shorter amount of time because I'm mad. So there we go. I had a better video planned, but now I don't want to give it to you. I'm not in the mood anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm pissed. So here's the fucking shorter version of what the fuck I just did for a half hour. So, hey, maybe it'll work better for me. Who the fuck knows? But, actually, let me move myself up here. I like being at the top. I don't like being at the bottom. I am not a bottom. I am a top. I'll let you sit with that. Alright, so, yeah. So, we're gonna go over what Dead by Daylight talked about. If you don't know already, they did a PAX stream talking about the new chapter drops and what's coming up for the next year, yada yada yada. Let's get into it. Let's hear what they had to say for the second time. Yep, we're gonna go over what they had to say, and I'm gonna let you know my predictions.
A twist coming up in that campaign too. Stay tuned. Arella marks the last release of the year 9 calendar. So we're going to dive in now to the year 10 calendar, Justin.
That's right, and this is the time when I try to bite my tongue and not give you guys any spoilers. Sorry. I will say we have 5 chapters. 3 will be licensed, 2 will be original. Of course, the next chapter, you guys already know, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a killer and a map, but Dave and Matt are going to be up to talk way more about that just after us. We're going to follow that up with another licensed chapter that will feature 2 iconic survivors. I won't reveal who they are today, but you guys are going to love it, for sure. And then finally, we're going to end the summer with an original chapter, the first one of the year. It's going to be on one of our favorite themes, which is folklore, Asian horror folklore specifically. And it's going to be one of the most gruesome chapters we've ever released, so we cannot wait to get it into your hands.
It's messy. It's gory.
Very messy. We will close out the year with one big licensed chapter with not 1 but 2 survivors. And the last one is actually very interesting. It's a very special chapter. You see there is no killer in there, and that's because there will be a survivor, but also a new realm that we know you are going to love. I wish I could spoil more. It's not yet there, but we will talk about it in the future. And there will also be a twist on an existing killer. So the point also of this is because killer requires so much effort, we again want to give enough space and room to the team to be able to work on those quality of life elements. That's very important for us that, we kind of focus on that.
Yes, which thank you for the wonderful segue, Jose. So for some of you, of course, the content is what drives you and excites you, the new content that comes to DBD. But I also think for a lot of you, myself included, who, I talk to the community every day, the quality of the game, the quality of health of the game is just as important as the new stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Like I said earlier, I'm really psyched that this is being prioritized. As Jose just mentioned, we've even taken a decision here and there to adjust the schedule of the year's releases based around doing more work on quality of life. So...
Sorry about that. I just had to make sure I texted someone, but you get the idea. We went over what they said at the PAX thing. Sorry, I am so out of it at the moment, not gonna lie. But it's fine. We deal. I was so mad, not gonna lie, but we deal now. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm unplugging my laptop. I'm a mess at the moment. Alright, so, we're gonna go over what I think is gonna be the next chapters for Dead by Daylight. Don't know why I clicked off the video, but there we go. Alright. So here, looking at it, we got new killer, new map. It's FNAF. We all know this. Alright. Licensed chapter. 2 new survivors. That, for those who don't know, is most likely going to be Walking Dead, Rick and Michonne. It's not confirmed 100%, but they said that during this live stream that they were dropping hints towards this chapter over here, the 2 new survivors. And when you see all these grayed out letters in the thing, it spells out the ones that live. And just so happens there's a new Walking Dead show called Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live coming out in July. So, with Rick and Michonne, it's as its focus. It tells itself. That is pretty much... It's confirming it without confirming it. It's going to be The Walking Dead. It's going to be Rick and Michonne. There's no way it won't be. Anyway. So that's not really a prediction. Now, the original killer for September, that's an Asian horror folklore killer. My prediction, the Yeti. And I think this for a couple reasons. For one, they said Asian horror folklore. Now, for those of you who might not have realized, the Yeti comes from the Himalayas, which is in Asia. So, as far as I know, I could be... Yeah. We're gonna go with that. Because I think it's, No, it's not the Philippines. The fuck am I talking about? God damn it. Let me Google this shit. I'm a mess right now. Just so y'all know. Himalayas. Yeah, it is in Asia. Just making sure. Again, I'm a mess at the moment. Sorry. So I think it's the Yeti. Because, for one, a Yeti, animalistic killer, can be gory, can be very violent in nature, and just, like, aggressive. And we don't have a lot of animal/monster characters. So I think the Yeti would be a great addition. And I think Yeti makes sense because they specifically said Asian. They didn't say Japanese, Chinese, or anything. They said Asian, and Asian covers a bunch of different countries. So I think they wanted that in our heads so that we stay out of the whole Japanese lane that we've been in for so long. You know, I think they want to expand. I think they want our brains thinking about expanding, and that's why they said Asian. And they also said folklore. Now, usually when you think of folklore, you think of things like cryptids, right? You don't really think about supernatural too much. You know, you think about things like Bigfoot or Nessie or like stuff like that. It's like folklore, like the Wendigo, stuff like that. So I think that it's gonna be a Yeti with 2 survivors that are like explorers exploring the Himalayas, and then they find a Yeti, and then, you know, they get taken into the fog or whatever. So I think that's what that's gonna be. I don't really know what else it could be, but I guess we'll see. I think it's the Yeti. I think it's gonna be the Yeti. Now, next up, the license chapter. This one is gonna be a much bigger talking point here, because there are a couple franchise possibilities here. Until Dawn is a possibility with new killer, 2 new survivors. They do have an iconic horror killer with the Wendigo, but I feel like it's not Until Dawn, simply because I think they're worried about putting the Wendigo in the game, not gonna lie. It could still be Until Dawn. It could, but I feel like with that, and again, as someone who's part Native American, I made a video on this. It's stupid. Just put the Wendigo in the game. It's not even like an original Wendigo. It's a licensed Wendigo that someone already made. Just put it in the game. It's not a big deal. Just chill. Just chill. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. I don't think it's Until Dawn. Now, some people have brought up The Last of Us, but like they said in the interview here, killers take time, and I don't think that they would put out a new killer that isn't iconic at this point. That is an iconic killer, and Last of Us just doesn't have an iconic killer. They have the clickers and bloaters, but I don't think that would be worth their time. I think if they did The Last of Us, it would just be a survivor paragraph. I don't think they would actually add in a killer. Just because, like, they seem to be cutting back on killers. We don't even have enough killers to fill up a whole row of killers for the year. So, like, oh, wait. Isn't that normal, actually? No, it's not. Right? Because usually the anniversary killer is, like, the first... Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe that's not normal. Maybe that is normal, actually. I don't know. Anyway, back to as we were saying. So, I don't think it's Last of Us. Now, there are 3 licenses that we could pick between that it could possibly be. First license is It. Now, this is the least likely. But it has an iconic killer and multiple survivors to pick from. And they said it's a big chapter. So I feel like the 2 new survivors are going to get some legendary outfits that turn them into more survivors. I feel like it's going to be that type of chapter. So Pennywise and then Bill and Amber? Is that her name? Why can't I remember her name? Fuck, never mind. Bill and Ember. That's not her name. It's not her name, but now she's Ember because I'm too mad. And so yeah, I think, and then other members of the Losers Club like Eddie and stuff. I think that's a possibility, but it's the least likely possibility. I mean, Welcome to Derry is coming out soon, but like I said, I don't think it's that. Number 2 possibility is Predator. They could do Predator with the 2 Native American characters from Prey. Forget their names. Not good with names. That's definitely a possibility, especially with Badlands and the new Predator TV show coming out on Hulu. Is definitely a possibility. I think Badlands actually drops in November. And that's definitely an iconic killer worth putting the time into. And it's 2 new survivors. The only thing that makes me think it's not Predator is because I feel like if they were to do a Predator chapter, they would bring in the original Predator with Arnold. And, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they may... And the only thing that takes me off of that is the fact that Arnold is kind of a pain in the ass to work with in terms of licensing. He's notoriously known to be kind of a pain in the ass to get for a license. MK11 had the problem with getting him to voice the Terminator. You know, stuff like that. So I think it's possible they could go with the easy choice and just do the Native American characters from Prey. They could also do the android characters that are going to be at Badlands as a survivors, but I don't think that, because they're twin androids. And then they could, I think if it is Predator, it's Predator with the 2 Native American characters from Prey. And then you get like an original Predator skin and like a Badlands skin. You could get like a Badlands skin pack that turns the Native American characters into the android characters from Badlands. That might be kind of cool. Or just the Native American girl into the android girl from Badlands. I think that's a possibility, but I don't think it's the most possible. What I think is going to happen with this chapter is it's going to be Stranger Things. A second Stranger Things chapter with Vecna, and then 2 of the Stranger Things characters. They said it's a big chapter. It's an iconic franchise at this point. Netflix is releasing season 5 of Stranger Things this year between October and December. Perfect timing for the chapter to drop. Vecna is the main character or main villain of the series at this point now. They have multiple survivors to pick from. They could do Robin and Eddie. They could do Jill and Hopper. They could do Eleven and Hopper. They could do Dustin and Eddie. And so they could do Eleven and Mike. Like, there's so many options and so many legendary skins they could, like, put in there to make it a big chapter where you get, like, a ton of legendaries with, like, 2 survivors and the killer. And they're bringing back Stranger Things. I feel like that'd be huge. I feel like that is the most likely pick for this month, this chapter in November. Also, notice how they faded out the S in licensed when it comes to this chapter. I don't think that's real. I don't think that's serious. But, you know, it could mean something, maybe, probably not. You know, yeah, so there's that. So yeah, I think Stranger Things is gonna be the chapter for November. I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. Sorry. Anyway, now on to the final chapter for March. And this one, I'm very sure, is going to be a sequel to the All Kill chapter. And here's why. They said it's a new survivor in a new realm. Not a new map, a new realm. So something we have never seen before in terms of map design. And they specifically said it's something the community is going to want. Something the community has wanted and is going to be so happy about. And what map realm has the community wanted? All Kill. They've wanted that. Of all the chapters to not get a map, that is the only one that gets requested frequently. Now, what drives it home for me and why I think this is going to be a sequel to All Kill with the new realm and multiple maps that follow the Trickster is they said that this chapter is going to be tied to an existing killer that's going to get a new twist. What killer is getting a rework soon? Trickster. They already said they were working on it. Now think about this. Trickster was the first character to get a design preview. He was the first. I bet y'all forgot that. It wasn't Skull Merchant. It was Trickster. They asked about him, but they haven't said anything since, even though Skull Merchant has gotten multiple design previews. I feel like they are keeping the Trickster rework under wraps more because it's going to be tied to this chapter and they don't want to give it away too easily. I really believe that. I think that is the deal. I think they are adding a new realm that follows the Trickster and with at least 1 or 2 maps to go with it. And I think that the new Survivor will obviously be tied to Trickster, and I feel like the Trickster rework is going to come with this chapter. Now that means we're not getting the Trickster rework for a while, which kind of sucks, but I think that's why they've been so silent on the Trickster rework. Now, if they announce that Trickster is getting his rework next month, obviously I'm fucking wrong, but you know, I think it's a good assumption. The only other character I can see this happening with is Skull Merchant, because she's getting a rework, but I don't think so, because her rework is supposed to be by the end of the year, but who knows? Yeah. So, yeah, because most killers have a map. Most original killers have a map already attached to them. So, like, and most of them don't need reworks. So, the only ones that don't are Blight, Trickster, Twins, right? The rest have maps. So, maybe it's the Blight, but I doubt it. I don't think Blight is getting a new twist. I think it's Trickster. Because nobody's asking for a Blight map. Nobody's asking for a Twins map. They're asking for a Trickster map. And I think that's what this is. So yeah, those are my predictions for year 10 of DBD, what I think the next chapters are going to be. Let me know if you guys have any ideas down in the comments below. But yeah, sorry to be a little off base at the beginning of the video, but I hope I tied it all together. I was just pissed. I had a whole 30-minute video going on, and it did not work. So yeah, I had to redo it. But that's okay. We live and we learn. Alright, everyone, have a good day.